About 10 years ago, when I moved from Texas to Arkansas, how I heard that I had moved close to a cult compound was at the signing table as I was signing the big, thick stack of paperwork that you have to sign when you purchase a home. One of the ladies in the office said, "River Chase Drive, isn't that up around the old Tony Alamo mansion?" And I thought, Tony Alamo, where have I heard that name?
A large following, a beautiful wife, and immense wealth. That's all you could ever want, right? But what happens when the power begins to take over? Tony Alamo was born September 20th, 1934 to a Jewish family. He met his wife Susan in Hollywood, and they were married in a 1966 Las Vegas ceremony. Together, they founded the Alamo Christian Foundation in 1969, and sparked by his wildly popular business producing and designing denim jackets, the Alamos moved their foundation to Susan's small hometown of Dyer, Arkansas. In this eerily small town of just above 700, everybody knows everybody, and everyone knew the Alamos. They built huge iron gates around their compound and stationed guards in order to monitor everything and everyone going in and out. Their wild success and secrecy, along with their fire and brimstone preaching, took over the town.
Yeah, so just going to Alma, the school in the town, it was kind of like a rite of passage that you had to go into the Alamo mansion. You know, everybody knew about it, everybody talked about it.
Under all this success, fame, and wealth lay some dark and dirty secrets. The members of the Alamo Christian Foundation did everything together. They ate together, slept together, and worked together, always. These followers were forced to work 10 to 14-hour days designing and producing Alamo's denim jackets. Those who did have jobs returned all their money to the Alamos, believing that a life of poverty would grant them a higher importance in heaven. They had some other off-the-wall theologies, such as that if you are protecting the earth, then you are slapping God in the face. Susan passed in 1982, and this sent Tony into a spiral. The compound became a living hell. Upon her death, Tony Alamo buried her on the compound site in a heart-shaped mausoleum, forcing the followers, including the children, to stand and pray over her body day and night, 24 hours a day, in the hopes of resurrecting her.
I've driven by there several times, and one time I was alone in my car, and I happened to look up there, and I saw a silhouette of a lady's body standing in front of the window, and it was just one of those glances that you look back and you look really hard and think, did I just see someone standing in that window?
The abuse within the compound got much worse, with one small girl being beaten severely for having epilepsy, as Alamo believed she was possessed and needed the devil beaten out of her. With his wife gone, Alamo began convincing his followers that a man of his ordainment should not be brideless. He began choosing girls as young as 12 and telling their parents that God had told him that they were to be his bride. Brainwashed and excited by the possibility of their children being the bride to the holy Tony Alamo, these parents agreed, and several of these underage girls began to undergo years of sexual abuse by Alamo and were illegally married off to him. It came to light that Alamo was committing tax evasion through the foundation, and 2 of his molestation victims came forward. Alamo was captured on July 5, 1991, and sentenced to 150 years in prison. Almost 20 years later, behind those prison walls, he went to go meet his maker.
On Halloween night and the week of Halloween, we do have a lot of trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood that go on up to the area above our house on that cliff and that edge of the property, and they do, of course, try to knock on the door. The house has been broken into a lot. There's been a lot of vandalism.
This cult's vast presence still haunts this small northwest Arkansas town. There are still foundation members living in the town, trying to spread the gospel, and the abandoned, mansion-like compound stands tall, in the middle of a suburban neighborhood, untouched because of its sinister past.